At Weil Hall, the Green Music Center, Sonoma State University. It's going to be awesome. Josh Groban takes the stage. Beautiful stage. Have you been there?
I still haven't been there yet. I know.
You've got to go. You've got to go. It is an impressive place. And the whole back of the building opens up, and they've got this giant screen, massive TV. It looks like it's the size of our building.
Oh.
So you can see everything even when you're outside. And this incredible outdoor speaker system, and then we have the tables and all. It's just going to be great. We have on the phone right now Josh Groban himself from Los Angeles, California. Good morning, and how the heck did you ever get started in this thing?
I think I got the bug when I was very young. I mean, I think that if I were to really kind of trace back to when I thought that I wanted to be a performer of some sort, it was really because my parents and my teachers exposed me to the arts early on, which is why I'm such a proponent of arts education, because I was kind of one of the kids that felt very much saved by the arts and felt like I had a voice and felt like I had something that I was passionate about early on that kind of kept me on the straight and narrow. So I knew I wanted to perform. I thought for a while I wanted to be an actor. I thought for a while I wanted to be a drummer in a rock band. There were a lot of things that I was interested in, but ultimately, when you realize you can sing, and you wake up one morning and you've got a voice that is pretty powerful, you go for it. And so I was really very happy that the voice that I wound up waking up with was the style of music that I like to listen to as well.
Well, I'm always amazed at the directions that people's lives takes. I mean, there you are, you're going to be a drummer or a rock band, and then next thing you know, your music teacher sends a thing off to David Foster, and then now you're singing with what was it, Bocelli?
Well, yeah, no, I was singing with Celine at that point, and sung with Bocelli on the Grammys 10 years later. I mean, I very early on. I mean, I recorded with Streisand when I was 19. I mean, I was thrown into such heady situations. I was still very much a student and a professional at the same time, but every day was a master class with Foster. I mean, every day was such a tremendous learning experience working with these legends, with these greats, who I'm still proud to call my friends. And so, but the interesting thing about all those other things, like you said, you meet that fork in the road, is that all those experiences that you maybe kind of thought you were going to dabble in, and then you maybe didn't do it, or you weren't good enough, or whatever it is, they all play a role in what you finally decide to set your roots down in. I was going to play in a rock band. Now I get to play drums on my albums and on stage. I was going to be an actor. Now I have the opportunity to do comedies right and left. It all leads to something down the road. And,
here's a question I want to ask you. I want to ask you this for a long time. You had to make a career choice. You could either go and become Pavarotti or Freddie Mercury. Which would you take? Have to pick one.
I have to pick one. Well, I think then that the one that I would think is most closely related to kind of my own musical tastes and styles would probably be Freddie Mercury. I think that what I'm doing is I think you named two very, 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 very unique voices, and I think that my goal is to be a voice 30 years down the road that people listen to and say, "Oh, that's Josh." Really, Pavarotti was like one of the original crossover artists. People think of him as just strictly opera. But those Three Tenors concerts, those Pavarotti and Friends concerts, he was singing with Bono, he was singing pop music, he was singing rock music. That guy was so open-minded. And in the same turn, Freddie Mercury was fascinated with opera and was fascinated with classical music, and he took that into the rock realm. So, how can you choose between the two?
Okay, how about this one then? If you could perform with anybody, and I mean anybody from any point in history,
oh my,
who would it be?
Oh boy,
I mean,
definitely one of those. Yeah, definitely Dylan, one of those two. I mean, I truly wish that I had.
I mean, this is Dylan, Bob Marley. You can perform with anybody. Who would it be?
Yeah. Well, I mean, gosh, I mean, I've like I said, I've been so lucky to have been able to perform with so many people I've loved. I've always dreamed of singing with Bjork. I think she's somebody who's so interesting and has an amazing voice. I really wish I could have been part of one of those Pavarotti and Friends concerts. I wasn't old enough. I hadn't been signed yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and say Freddie Mercury, since we already talked about him. I think he's somebody who has got such a raw vocal talent and somebody who is so experimental. I think we could have had an amazing song together.
So when does the Josh Groban Bohemian Rhapsody come out?
As soon as you take me to Koreatown and we get drunk and do some karaoke, you're gonna hear a really amazing version of that song.
Hey, well, it's going to be a great show. Have you heard about the Green Music Center yet?
Oh yeah, no, it's a legendary, wonderful venue to be able to sing with. I mean, the Santa Rosa Symphony. I mean, we've done a couple of these orchestra nights already, and I haven't done this kind of a show in a very, very long time. And we just did 3 nights at the Hollywood Bowl. We just finished Red Rocks, and they have just been absolutely magical evenings, and it made me realize what a joy it is for myself and hopefully for the audience to be able to be out and see a show like that, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I'm going to be there. We have our own private table because the whole back of the Green Center opens up, right?
Yes.
And then they have the tables and the champagne, and it's dinner theater,
yes.
But classier.
Yes. It's great. I mean, this is why comedians have a 2-drink minimum. This is just makes it easier for me. I just get better and better as the show goes on to the audience.
Josh Groban, the man with the 2-cork minimum.
Yeah, exactly right. 2 Chardonnay minimum.
Yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful night. These hot days have made for some extraordinary evenings, and glad you're going to be there.
Well, Josh, it's been wonderful talking to you. It's nice to see somebody who's incredibly talented, incredibly famous, and actually nice.
Oh, well, I think part of that is just having parents that just make sure that you don't get too far up on cloud nine. But that's the secret. You got to be nice to people.
Yeah.
All the people that I know in this business who have been jerks are really, they don't last very long.
Well, I think you got a long career ahead of you, man, especially with all the Christmas stuff and the classical stuff. And if you do Freddie Mercury, I think you're going to rock the world.
You're going to see it. You, and
I'm
three or four other people. They're going to have to wheel us out.
$5. I'm ready to go.
Cool.
Thanks for being on the show this morning.
Thank you. My pleasure.